What is going on YouTube? This is Acidic Roots. So I got some particular affairs here, kind of news centric as far as this pitch kind of happen with it. So the particular content about this one is dealing with the recent kind of Elon Musk and Donald Trump beef as far as this first gonna happen. Now originally Elon Musk was a part of Doge as far as this first gonna happen, basically helping out with the White House, just a special service kind of conduct as far as this first gonna happen. But in recent times, at least as of late May and early June of 2025. Now by the time this video surfaces, it might be August or so, pitches like that. So obviously the fair behind where by the time this surfaces, but this for them pitch, don't feel like doing dozens upon dozens of these throughout the month as far as on Frenchie. So it's just the pitch that this will probably be dated news with them pitch, but just to be able to say it's kind of like last week tonight with John Oliver, some of those type pitches, just more in retrospect, the humor is going to be there. So yeah, basically of the pitch, notice Elon Musk had a black eye within some of those type pitches. Definitely, I'd say that it's kind of sus within the aspect as far as those pitches can happen. Just for that to say full bound, just kind of the pitch. The black guy is kind of sus as far as what's first going to happen. The pitch behind his 5-year-old kid doing it to him, that's pretty good within those pitches as far as those particular affairs, as far as those aspects are going to happen. I would definitely say, Elon needs to get like Sugar Ray Leonard on the phone as far as this pitch going to happen with it. Good type fair within those conducts. I'd say boxing could probably break some pretty good bread with Tesla as far as those pitch going to happen. Just having that particular fair going to happen within those aspects of it. Just being able to say boxing could break pretty good bread with Tesla as far as those fairs going to happen. Just in the pitch behind it, considering that child that's probably being able to say a first grade child's able to damage Elon as far as this first can happen pretty much. I mean, I would think Elon was like 6'3", something like that, somewhere within the height of it within those pitches. So it's pretty good fair within those pitches. Not to say within those aspects as far as like promoting that context, but just within the fair as far as those pitch happen. So that's the tone behind it. But yeah, I noticed the pitch behind it, like Doge does not seem to be as commonly talked about. It seems to be kind of more, not so much like a red herring, but just kind of within the pitch as far as saying it feels more of like a relative kind of novelty within the pitch, just something that was kind of more cosmetics, more so than anything else. Not to say full bound. I mean, seemingly it did stuff within the pitches. It was talked about within the first half of 2025 as far as this pitch can happen, but the particular product of it, just with the recent type times with the pitches, is like the more politics start to move along within some of those type pitches. In my opinion, there just doesn't seem to be goals in cutting like federal spending as far as this first can happen. I mean, I understand the process and the necessity for wanting to have like the more richer type fare amongst it. But I look within the tone as far as saying if the world is sick, does it matter if you have money within some of those type pitches? Because you have to look after it. Kind of within the product, I mean, there's a lot of ambition kind of on the forecast as far as those first have. I've noticed like the product of being industrial and pitches like that, but I'm looking after it. What exactly does the fair behind money kind of have within the exactingness kind of it? I just look within the pitch. It makes me question if like the United States, the USA is trying to buy like the Eiffel Tower or something like that. It's this kind of pitch. I mean, I realize the product of it, obviously, in a lot of senses, it just feels like there's limits within like the aspects as far as those fairs can happen. Just the product of, you could say, why acidic roots? There's travel, there's Miss France, there's Miss China, there's Miss Cuba, there's some of these types of people just being able to say it. Just the product of like some of these world type events as far as like travel and just the aspects of like the Galvans and Jubilees that kind of go along with the fashion. But then the product of it, the concept of just having the folks within the aspects of having that sort of ambition, the pitch behind it, just feels kind of like the novelty with most of the, there doesn't seem to be as much full bound kind of necessity for money pouring in within those aspects, just within the context as far as supposing with all these commercials that are throughout television. I mean, when you flip on damn near any news channel, for the most part, they're usually talking about the things when you think of like, the Humira and all these types of commercials, all these differential type ones, all the pill commercials and things like that, just the problems that the world particularly kind of has. I don't know why, if you're having like blah 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 kind of pain or disorder, having to take Tylenols and all those sorts of pitches, why you'd want to go to France and have like some escargot or something like that. It's just kind of the pitch as far as saying, I think that's probably the least of your problems, is saying, well, I may be having these horrific kind of health problems, but at least I have a plate of spaghetti that's in another country as far as the stress happens. I just look in the pitch, it just feels like the ambition is kind of cosmetics within those tones, but I just look at it as kind of aspect of it. But basically the tone as far as saying, in my opinion, I look within the Musk and Trump beef. I think the aspect behind it, I think these folks need to get the sorted out. I mean, they make a pretty good combination of a team as far as those first can happen. I think definitely it's gonna. I think in the future it'll probably be looked upon within some of those type pitches of like a good combination when you reflect years from now in 2024, early 2025, some of those type pitches. I think the product of that could probably continue within the aspect you think within the pitch that it would have like some solitude as far as not just being like a temporary kind of 2-week kind of thing within some of those type pitches. But just kind of feels like in motion within the pitch behind it. It's considering the impact of what went into it. It just kind of feels tried as far as those pairs can happen. I would definitely say Musk and Trump need to have one of those drunk kind of in my opinion. Musk and Trump need to have one of those drunk reconciliations out in Vegas. Some of those type pitches that you get in the movies where they're both kind of where they have like that year long or 5 year long fight and feud as far as those pitch can happen. And they both get drunk and they pour their hearts out as far as those pitch. Just some of that particular type fair. Basically, just to say the bullet points of this particular fair, Musk is sorry that golf bores him, which probably offended Trump within those pitches. And Trump is sorry that Cybertrucks are extinct as far as those pitches can happen, which it probably offended Musk within those pitches as far as those fairs can happen. So it's just the pitch as far as saying, so have to cheer up, get the mojo back. Some of those particular type fairs, just realize the impact of what's going on, get the United States within the track of what particularly needs to have the fanfare happening. That's kind of the fair and the pitch behind it.